and he thought he'd turn it into a film. And he said, would you do it with Max?
That's quite good. I'm rather liberal with the swear words. I don't have a favourite, I just use them all.
Dame Judi Dench doesn't do favourites lightly. She chooses her words carefully. For 7 decades, she's commanded stages and screens, from Shakespeare at the Old Vic to M in James Bond.
It was the possibility of losing you, or the certainty of losing all those other agents.
She became British royalty without a crown, just talent and discipline. Her career proves that great acting is a lifelong commitment, not a sprint, a marathon. But Dench didn't build this alone. She learned from giants, actors who shaped British theatre before she arrived, colleagues who became lifelong friends, partners who pushed her higher.
Max has had one chap, hasn't she?
Yes, she has.
Who was killed.
That's right.
But my poor old character hasn't seen the light of day.
Dench speaks reverently about those who taught her the craft, the ones who showed her what excellence looks like. She's never published an official list, but throughout interviews and tributes, certain names repeat. Actors she watched obsessively, I worked with gratefully, mourned deeply. These performers shaped how Dench sees acting itself. They taught her that theater demands respect, that craft requires constant study, that greatness means never stopping. Here are the 10 actors Dame Judi Dench holds highest, the ones who made her the legend she became. 10. Edith Evans. Edith Evans was theatrical royalty before Dench arrived, a force of nature. Dame Edith commanded stages with presence alone. Dench worked with her early in her career at the Old Vic. I watched her closely, learned what power looks like. Dench appeared with Evans in Henry VIII in 1958. Just a small role, an attendant gentlewoman. But she studied everything Evans did, how she moved, how she spoke, how she owned every moment.
Who was a year older than I was, and I stood in this bit of the garden the other day.
Evans showed Dench that great actors never waste energy. Every gesture matters. Years later, Dench mentioned Evans alongside Peggy Ashcroft. The two names are always together, her personal Mount Rushmore of British actresses. Peter Hall, the legendary director, listed only 3 female greats in history: Evans, Ashcroft, and Dench herself. That's the company Dench keeps, the standard she learned from watching Edith Evans work. One legend who taught her that presence trumps everything. 9. Peggy Ashcroft. Peggy Ashcroft changed Dench's life. Literally. Dench said it herself.
I seem to be blind, incapable of seeing anything.
She watched Ashcroft play Cleopatra on stage when she was young. That performance made her want to act, made her understand what theater could be. Pure inspiration. Ashcroft became her mentor, her friend.
School in York. The word bloody was in the sentence, and I was about 7, and I thought, this is for me.
They worked together in the Cherry Orchard in 1961. Dench played Anya. Ashcroft played Madame Ranevskaya. That production cemented their bond. Ashcroft taught Dench about emotional truth, how to find it, how to share it. Dench talks about Ashcroft's Cleopatra with wonder, how Ashcroft walked across the stage wearing peacock feathers. That image stayed with Dench for 70 years. When Ashcroft died, Dench grieved deeply. She planted a tree in her garden, a memorial that still stands. One icon who showed Dench what acting should aspire to be: truth dressed in beauty. 8. John Gielgud. John Gielgud was Shakespeare's greatest voice. Dench absolutely believes that. She said, if you want to learn Shakespeare, listen to Gielgud. He understood the music in the language, the rhythm, the meaning hidden in every word.
I really wouldn't know, sir. I'm just a servant.
Yeah.
On the other hand...
Dench studied his recordings like scripture. They worked together in the Cherry Orchard. Dench was struggling. The director was destroying her confidence. Then Gielgud saved her. After one rehearsal, he said she'd been delightful, that if she'd performed for him, he'd have been thrilled. Dench never forgot that kindness. She was devoted to him forever. Gielgud's favorite sonnet was Sonnet 29.
He wasn't well, and I'm not good at it, actually.
In 2022, Dench recited it at Westminster Abbey. A stone was laid for Gielgud in Poets' Corner. Dench stood there honoring him, speaking his favorite words. When Gielgud died, she planted a tree for him. One master who taught Dench that encouragement matters as much as technique. 7. Michael Williams. Michael Williams wasn't just Dench's favorite actor. He was her husband, her partner for 30 years, the father of her daughter. They married in 1971. We worked together constantly, understood each other completely. Williams made Dench better at everything. Williams had a strong masculine presence, piercing eyes. Kenneth Branagh called him talented and handsome. Williams played Dr. Watson in BBC Radio's Sherlock Holmes, but he also starred in Shakespeare. Dench watched him play Troilus while Helen Mirren played Cressida. She wished she'd played opposite him. Williams died in 2001, 3 weeks before their pearl anniversary.
Advertisement which bought my house. Bought this house.
Lung cancer took him at 65. Dench speaks about him tearfully still. When Kenneth Branagh showed her Williams's Henry V performance recently, she cried silently. 24 years later, the grief remains. One actor who understood Dench completely, who shared her life and elevated her art. 6. Maggie Smith. Maggie Smith was Dench's lifelong friend, her equal, her mirror. They were two sides of the same coin. Both dames, both brilliant, both wickedly funny. Smith could land a joke like no one else.
Yours is hooves, it's the hammer, hammer, hammer on the hard iron road.
Dench studied that skill constantly. They appeared in Nothing Like a Dame together in 2018, a documentary with 4 legendary actresses talking. Eileen Atkins and Joan Plowright joined them, but Smith and Dench had special chemistry. 70 years of friendship created that. 70 years of mutual respect. When filming The Breath of Life in 2002, Dench needed release. She rode cranes, raced around Trafalgar Square on motorbikes, anything to balance Smith's intensity. When Smith died on September 2024, Dench planted a crabapple tree. It had no fruit until Smith's Memorial Day. Then one appeared. Dench kept it in her pocket. One friend who showed Dench that comedy and tragedy require equal skill. 5. Kenneth Branagh. Kenneth Branagh became Dench's favorite collaborator. They've worked together countless times across decades. Shakespeare adaptations, his films, her productions.
Fires, what flaying and boiling and leads and oils? What old on you a torture must I receive?
Branagh directed Dench. Dench directed Branagh. Perfect creative partnership built on mutual admiration. Dench says they share the same sense of humor. Both Sagittarians, born one day apart in different years. That connection creates magic.
And I went round to give a note, and he left the theatre in his costume to avoid me. Oh dear.
Branagh cast her in Hamlet. She played Hecuba. He cast her in Belfast. She earned her 8th Oscar nomination. Branagh trusted her completely. Dench admires Branagh's commitment to work, his respect for theater, his sense of humor. Those 3 things matter most to her. When asked what she'd want to do next, Dench said anything opposite Branagh. Any part, any play. That's ultimate respect. One collaborator who proved great partnerships elevates everyone involved, who remains her closest creative ally. 4. Ian McKellen. Ian McKellen shares Dench's passion for theatrical legacy.
About King Henry V's son, King Henry VI of England, and so successful was it that he had to write 2 sequels.
They both believe actors should study history, learn from greats who came before. McKellen and Dench defend classical training together, stand for standards together, represent their generation together. McKellen attended the John Gielgud Blue Plaque unveiling. So did Dench. Both spoke about preserving theatrical knowledge. Both worried about younger actors ignoring the past. McKellen complains about lost repertory theater. Dench agrees completely. They're allies in protecting craft. Their friendship spans decades. Both achieved knighthood. Both became national treasures. Both balance commercial success with artistic integrity. McKellen does Marvel and Shakespeare. Dench does Bond and Chekhov. Same philosophy, different paths. One contemporary who proves Dench isn't alone, who fights the same battles for theatrical excellence. 3. Vanessa Redgrave. Vanessa Redgrave was Dench's classmate. They studied together at Central School of Speech and Drama. Both graduated with honors. Both won gold medals. Both became defining British actresses.
January until August, what help did the International Red Cross give?
Their careers ran parallel for 70 years. Different choices, equal greatness. Redgrave came from theatrical royalty, the Redgrave family dynasty. Dench came from York, a doctor's daughter. But at drama school, they were equals, competing, learning, growing together. That foundation created lifelong mutual respect. They took different paths. Redgrave chose political activism and experimental theater. Dench chose classical roles and mainstream success. But both achieved legendary status. Both earned everything. Oscars, BAFTAs, respect. When Dench sees Redgrave's work, she sees her own alternate timeline. Their friendship survived different philosophies. Redgrave spoke out politically. Dench stayed quieter. But they never judged each other, never competed publicly, just admired from a distance. Two women who started together and conquered separately. One peer who reminds Dench that excellence comes in many forms. That difference doesn't mean less. 2. Geoffrey Palmer. Geoffrey Palmer was Dench's television partner. They starred in As Time Goes By together, a BBC romantic sitcom that ran for years.
Birthday, said Pooh in great surprise. Of course it is.
Palmer and Dench had perfect chemistry, comfortable, warm, believable. Millions watched them weekly. Palmer played opposite Dench with gentle humor, never overselling, never competing, just being. That restraint matched Dench's style perfectly. They made ordinary moments magical, made simple dialogue sing. The show became a phenomenon because of their connection. When Palmer died, Dench dedicated a tree to him in her garden. Another friend lost, another talent gone. But their work remains. Decades of episodes proving chemistry can't be manufactured. It just exists between certain people. Palmer and Dench had it. The show ran from 1992 to 2005, 9 series total. Palmer made every episode feel effortless. He understood the timing, knew when to pause, when to react, when to let Dench lead. That generosity created magic. They became Britain's favorite couple without trying. One partner showed Dench that television requires different skills. That comedy can be subtle and powerful. 1. Michael Benthall. Michael Benthall saved Dench's career. She says it directly. She owes everything to him. Benthall was artistic director at the Old Vic. He cast Dench as Ophelia in 1957, straight from drama school. That role launched everything. The reviews were mixed. Critics said Dench lacked technique, but Benthall believed in her, kept casting her, gave her Juliet, gave her Lady Macbeth, let her grow publicly, learn through doing. That faith changed Dench's life completely. Benthall directed the Old Vic Theatre seasons. Dench worked with him for years. I learned stagecraft, build confidence, found her voice. When Benthall died, Dench planted a tree. In her recent documentary, she pointed it out to Kenneth Branagh. Benthall deserved credit for her entire career. One director who saw potential and nurtured it, who gave a young actress the chance that created Dame Judi Dench. Dench never officially ranked these names, but her choices reveal everything. Mentors, partners, friends, equals. Through them, she learned that great acting requires humility and courage, that respecting the past creates the future. Who's your favorite? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe for more studio insights.